Hi, Dr. P here, and I'm going to talk about my favorite kind of game, which is a multi-sided game. That is, there are more than two sides. In tabletop, that's called multiplayer, but multiplayer means something else in video games. So, more than two sides, not a team game, but where there are at least three independent sides. Now, in such games, knowing who is ahead is crucial because it helps you decide what you need to do. And the question for a designer is, how do we avoid making it possible, or at least too easy, for players to know who's ahead and who's not? Well, the first and primary method would be hidden information about the scoring. It could be hidden from everyone or hidden from everyone except the player who has a score. In other words, each player would know his or her score, but not anybody else's score. This is not so easy to do because people are watching the game, and if something is trackable, somebody's going to track it. So don't fall into the trap of hidden but trackable information. That's not hidden information. Hidden information is something that can't be tracked. And once again, that's what makes it difficult to put into a game. Now, I've seen games where you pulled chits out of a bag, and that was victory points, and so you could hide that from anybody else. But there aren't many situations where that makes much sense. Another method, other than hiding the scoring information, is scoring at different rates. Now, this isn't likely to happen in a symmetric game where everybody starts with the equal forces, but it is likely to happen perhaps in an asymmetric game, historical game. I think particularly of Britannia and Britannia-like games. In Britannia, for example, the Romans score a lot of points in the first 5 turns, and so yellow looks like they're way ahead, but often they're not. What counts is the typical score for a particular nation in Britannia and whether you score more or less. And that's something that some people rely on databases of games to keep track of, and some people just through experience learn, well, this country or this nation is likely to score X points and they've scored X plus 10, so that's to their advantage. Possibly ranking might be involved somehow rather than absolute scores, but I'm not even sure how you would implement that. Reiner Knizia certainly likes what I would call unusual scoring methods where there is a lot of ranking involved. And I've experimented with that a little bit, but it's still not as good, I'd say, as hidden information. Perhaps it's as good as scoring at different rates. But like it or not, if you have a game where everybody knows what every score is, then it makes it easy for people to see who the leader is and who they should try to pull back. Winky, which people mostly pronounce as Vinci, is a game like that. Everybody knows the score, and the worst position you can be in, more or less, is to be ahead near the end of the game, because everybody's going to pull you back and somebody else is likely to win the game. Thanks for listening.